I have transformed into an invincible deity from another universe. Now give me the oats, or face annihilation.
Sorry brother, but I've already begun eating the oats.
The internet has allowed many different websites to emerge and for people to influence the world in a much more marginal way than we've ever seen prior. Frequently, the influence from people is accidental. Most of the time when it's accidental, it's a one-hit wonder. Sometimes people capitalize on the success of the one-hit wonder and run with it, but usually that just means only one accident actually occurred. Despite all this, there is a man who kept maintaining his fame accident after accident, runaway joke after runaway joke. He somehow managed to stay so famous and influential while also trying very hard to stay obscure as possible. That man is Joe Capo. Before trying to comprehend the enigma that is Joe Capo, we must first try to understand what an internet meme is.
I am going to mourn at Big Pete's lair.
Internet memes are essentially annoying jokes that get repeated online via kids and corporations. Well, yes, that's true, their influence is a lot more important than that. They affect culture and have essentially replaced the internet's 2010s equivalents to fads. They've saved people's lives, they've ruined people's lives. Probably the weirdest part of a meme is where they come from. Almost every meme has a very strange origin, and some of the best examples are the memes created by Joe Capo. In addition to creating many memes, Joe Capo is an elusive figure and can be relatable to any struggling artist who wants independence online. Frankly, that was a big reason he was an inspiration for me in my content. I saw something that worked, something simple, something that could be done, but still entertaining from him, so I accomplished something similar with my own official Grinch trailer parody series I made in 2018. So, with that being said, much of his content is also very mysterious because a lot of it doesn't seem to have much motive, and it would be simple if it was just for artistry, but given how often he deletes stuff and the secret messages and intentionally elusive styling of his content and abstract titles, who knows what is going on in this man's head. But given his influence over the internet as a whole, the mystery becomes something that feels like you need to find out. The beginning of Joe Capo's career started on January 4th, 2017. Joe Capo posted a short surrealist animation of JPEG pigs named Brother Where Are My Oats. That immediately launched his channel.
12 o'clock noon, and when I woke up the next morning, it had 6,000 views. This was the most any video of mine had ever gotten in the first 12 hours. I was so excited I searched it in Google to see if people were talking about it because I needed to know how it blew up so much. I had only 162 subscribers at the time, and I remember the number because I cared a lot about it, and all I saw on Google were links to a mainstream Facebook page called Difficulty 2. The page had literally over 1,000 times as many followers as me, and he re-uploaded my oats video 4 hours after the original but got 200,000 views in 12 hours because of it. So I messaged him asking for credit and he denied me over and over again.
In the archive re-upload to YouTube on August 26, 2018, the description said that the Facebook version was a re-upload, foreshadowing some of his main conflicts, including the constant struggle of dealing with people stealing his content and claiming it as their own.
People were asking me to explain this, so I will. Most of you know that I made too many memes to count, and I receive little to no credit for most of them.
The story of the first video is basically just a couple of really fat Renaissance painting pigs are like, "Hey, brother, where are thine oats?" Then it gets derailed into surrealist, intergalactic god Kek frog demons being in conflict, and Big Pete. Don't try to understand this or any of his projects. He has all 37 episodes archived, and this was a first taste of his non-consensual fame. But his true big break was his next show, Dragon Ball X. Dragon Ball X was another series that Joe Capo made that went even further beyond. It was a parody of the currently running Dragon Ball Super anime, making fun of several tropes in the show. One of the most powerful characters in the background of an episode looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
In February 2017, an episode of Dragon Ball Super came out with a new character called Mojito, and he looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Not long after, I started to meme Mojito.
The plot was the characters from the show were mixed with random characters and original color swaps that would just fight each other to deaths in just basically PNGs being thrown at each other and exploding.
You can never defeat me now that I've transformed into Cell Phone. Cell Phone is right, I could not defeat him. Don't worry Gohan, I will save you. Yamcha, why do you look just like Gohan? Because I am Yamcha. Oh no. BFFFFT. Tis I Bloomer.
The main characters were Gohan from the original with the weird power-up, and Shaggy fighting a bunch of different ridiculous, absurd characters like El Grande Padre and El Perfeccion. New forms constantly. Bigger stuff being destroyed while it looking pretty much the same. Random characters. But Joe Capo actually kind of came up with the white-haired form prior to the actual show. So it looked like the show became a parody of itself, and the inspiration he got it from was from a 2016 clickbait video. The real show used the same exact form 2 years later. The show literally became a parody of itself. The official show actually called it Ultra Instinct. It was definitely a coincidence given the time animation takes, but probably add to his resentment given that someone even bigger is gonna get the credit for something that he was kind of responsible. And given that Scooby-Doo in his show had the Blanco form, which is now considered the Ultra Instinct form, this caused people to make even more memes.
I checked on it later and it had about 100 views, and it quickly became popular because guess why? Reddit posted it and it got millions of views because of it. I was kind of upset that yet again a meme became stellar and I didn't receive credit.
Ultra Instinct was about dodging, so one of his fans made a meme about Shaggy dodging and calling it Ultra Instinct. This spawned not one, but two very different subsets of popular memes at the time. One was random characters obtaining Ultra Instinct just by dodging something. The other was memes of Shaggy Blanco, who's now called Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Various different memes showing how powerful he got. This is one of the most popular memes in the last 3 years. It returned after a short slumber with a vengeance when Redditors put him into a tournament bracket to get a petition for Mortal Kombat to grab Ultra Instinct Shaggy as a character. Even though a moderator took it down and it wasn't accepted, it got further into the mainstream with mainstream news article outlets taking it, and also people getting sick of it because it was so popular. So in addition to the East happening to come up with the exact same form at the exact same time, the West also happened to appropriate Shaggy's Ultra Instinct gimmick entirely because of how popular it was and how much people wanted it in the series so badly. Not only did a large community follow it, not only did people beg for the original parody to continue, not only did the silliness of the original source material basically get proven right, not only did it become canon twice in 2 different series, but the series has still been impacting the internet till this day. Keep in mind, this meme really started in 2018. It's 2020 now. They're still popular 2021, but the series has still been impacting the internet to this day. Keep in mind, this was way back in 2018. These Shaggy memes have been popular for 3 years. It's 2021. It sounds like a win-win. Joe Capo makes a big impact on the internet, and both official companies from the East and the West. But the issue is that no one knew he made the impact. It's tough to tell when he's being serious or not. Sometimes he's proud of his content being shared. Sometimes he thinks it's stolen. Sometimes he acts like he invented stuff he didn't, such as dabbing. Stuff like that's probably sarcasm. But sometimes it's just tough to differentiate reality from jokes. Sometimes he appreciates the recognition because he gets credit. Sometimes he hates on his own videos. Sometimes he praises them. But either way, what does he actually want? What is his end goal? Does he want to troll his audience? Does he want more fame? Does he want to become obscure? Does he just want credit? Once again, all of these are from the past few months at the time I took the screenshot. It's very rare for content creators to delete their videos without reason, but I guess Joe did have a reason. It's heavily implied that this might have just been him trying to purge his followers from the true fans and the trend hoppers. I'm sure it's not a cult, but it's almost like he wants people to be worthy for his channel and not people who just subscribe just to steal content immediately. Because no matter how many substanceless 3-minute long videos there are, there's going to be some people that are going to be watching his content, and some people take it as a challenge to stay subscribed, a challenge to be worthy, or maybe it's a challenge out of spite to see how much Joe can spam in their faces and that they'll still stay and they'll persevere over the monotonous content he shoots back out at them all the time. Eventually, this means it's not as much about subscribing to Joe for his content, but out of spite or devotion. Or, you know, maybe they're just really nice fans and they don't mind some of the less extreme stuff they put out. With that being said, if you do want to subscribe to Joe Capo for his content, he's not the most reliable for his own content. His content won't always be there, so you have to go for archives. Joe Capo has an archive channel. The thing is, it's supposedly not official. There's a lot of questions we need to ask Joe Capo. Luckily, I have the answer. I actually got a hold of him and I made an interview with him, mostly to get to the bottom of what he really wants with his channel and why he creates so much art. I initiate it and introduce myself and go along with the interview.
Yes, I'd do an interview via Twitter messages, a text interview, if you'd want to. And if it's for a class, then you can use it.
Right from the get-go of the interview, he immediately starts making jokes.
I'm a psychic, just kidding.
My first question was, how would you introduce your channel and its history to newcomers?
Okay. I created my channel on November 17th, 2014. Initially I didn't have much of a theme going, but in 2015 I started to make videos of myself playing piano, and I did other music-related videos for quite a while. And starting in 2016 I began uploading meme videos, which is what made my channel popular.
A big question is a lot of the meme videos themselves became mainstream due to people stealing their content, namely Oats and Dragon Ball X series. So,
it was kind of irritating at first, but then again, the reason the Oats video became so popular is because somebody who was more popular than me stole it, and all of his community saw it because he re-uploaded it. Honestly, I don't think there's much I would have done different, even though it was kind of annoying at first. But eventually, after my channel started getting more popular, I realized that maybe spending so much of my time on YouTube is not a good idea. And I realized that it's good to let things go, and it's a good philosophy to be willing to part with things. So right when my channel was at the peak of popularity, I deleted all of my videos. People started giving me a lot of expectations, and I started to realize that I only wanted to do YouTube as a hobby, but it was turning into a job.
apparently though, he didn't even know about the Mortal Kombat or Ultra Instinct Shaggy being in the new video game thing, which is actually something that occurred in the production of making this video.
Interesting, I didn't know about the Mortal Kombat thing. The Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme was one of several Dragon Ball related memes that I made while Dragon Ball Super was still airing episodes. It's definitely a hard to describe feeling to see that my meme has made it into some official Warner Brothers stuff though.
Scooby-Doo. He also shares a bit of a sad story of like people in real life who knew about the meme pretty much bullying him over it, but he now appreciates that it actually got into some Warner Brothers content.
The only time the popularity has truly irritated me was one time in a library. There were a few guys being mean to me and also watching one of my videos and talking about how great it was at the same time. It was the craziest coincidence ever, and I felt sad that day though. They didn't even know I was the one that made it.
He doesn't plan on making another series like Oats or Dragon Ball X in the near future. He makes videos, he makes them for fun, and then he deletes them. His community has become accustomed to it, and they'll stick around as long as he'll make content.
I'll upload videos that I made for fun and then delete them. The community has become more used to it now, and recently some people told me they will stick around for as long as I'm making videos, no matter what I make or how often I delete it, which is reassuring and nice to hear. I don't have any plans for another series, but I love writing stories in private and I am not publishing most of them.
But, as alluded to earlier, keeping it less popular intentionally allows him to be free with it, meaning that the video purges were to mitigate popularity. This insight really changed my perspective on the initially elusive figure that is Joe Capo, and I'm glad he could reach out to me. Initially, I thought that maybe there was some weird conspiracy, or maybe there was some odd reason he wanted to stay low, but he also wanted to be well known for what he's accomplished online. And even though I still respected him for that, I apologize, because I thought he had all these elaborate schemes going on. But honestly, just wanting some credit, but also not wanting everyone to see it just to steal it, and then just growing up and becoming a lot more humble and being satisfied with where you are, where your stories are, where your jokes are. It's really humbling and inspiring, and for that I apologize, because I was kind of making Joe Capo out to be this mysterious, weird, paradoxical figure who's maybe even a little crazy, but obviously that's not the case. Maybe at the end of the day, for as weird as I thought he was, he's just an average Joe.